Lego modulars are some of the best Lego sets of all time. They're incredible what they do for Lego in general. You know, the techniques that are used to build them are fantastic. You know, they are higher in price, true. They are some of the most expensive Lego sets of all time. But, I mean, to have these sets in minifigure scale based on, like, city buildings and whatnot is fantastic compared to, say, the Lego Roman Colosseum, which is $500 and is micro scale. Because, yes, I would like a micro scale build to do nothing with. But, modulars are great. They have so many different uses, and you know they're fairly moderate price, I guess. Not moderate. They're definitely expensive, but it's fantastic. They're fantastic builds. Before I get into the ranking, I would like to state though this is coming from the perspective of a 17-year-old who's only been collecting Lego since 2012. So I don't have really a lot of the same opinions as a lot of other people. Like, usually what I see is usually a lot of the older sets tend to rank a little higher than they will in this video and a lot of other modulars, because I think a lot of people have nostalgia with those. You know, a lot of people grew up with those when I sort of did, but I didn't own a modular until this year, so I kind of am in a different camp than that. But I mean, before I get into the ranking, I would like to state what I classify as a modular. I would say the Creator Expert line, the even Factory line with Market Street, and the Modular Building Collection, you know, what would typically be counted as modulars. I'm not going out of the box and saying, oh yeah, Ninjago City. I'm not going to do any of the Ninjago City collections because as I feel, those aren't modulars. I feel they're their own thing. Also, I really don't like Ninjago, so, you know, why would I do a Ninjago City thing if I don't care for Ninjago? Anyways, let's get right into this ranking.
We be sweethearts, why don't we fall in love?
I don't think I'm surprising anyone by saying last on the list is Market Street. Now, this modular appeals to me the least. It just doesn't, I mean, it feels like a Creator 3-in-1, to be honest, except it is enclosed, so it kind of does feel like modular, and it's built on a base plate, so it has that, and it has the consistent road plates, you know, but, I mean, it doesn't feel like a modular, you know, that the lion header piece at the top, it's kind of confusing. You know, the exterior isn't even too bad. I mean, the stairs, like, they kind of redid that in the Bookshop, which will come up later on this ranking. But, you know, empty interior, kind of like, you know, some of the old modulars, like a Cafe Corner, which will come up later. But, really this, like, half of this set is alright, which is the building half. I mean, the building colors are kind of weird for a modular, to be honest. I think light blue doesn't work particularly well here. But, the other half, the Market Street area itself, is literal garbage. There's like nothing there, and that's where I think they could have, you know, added a bit more. You know, they could have actually added a building there. I mean, I know this is one of the cheapest modulars at launch, or it is the cheapest. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it is definitely the worst in my opinion. There's definitely some flaws. The only part of a Market Street that they have here is two little boxes on a you know, a clip piece which can angle down, which, I mean, sure, that makes sense, but I wouldn't count that as Market Street, you know. It's definitely the most different of the sets. It's very, you know, the right half is heavy compared to the left half because there's literally nothing on the left half, and it was for sure a weird one because it came out as a Lego factory set. It was designed by a fan. The building's based off of some Dutch houses, I believe. You know, some European houses, which, I mean, it's a cool concept, to be honest. And I don't think that house was executed too poorly, but I don't know why there's a house on a Market Street. Just like, I know, we came out with Green Grocer literally not that much longer, like, after this, but it still doesn't make sense to me, to be honest, and I think that's why the set belongs at the lowest of any of these modulars.
We be sweethearts, why don't we fall in love?
Up next, maybe one that surprises you guys, it's Pet Shop. Now, Pet Shop has an iconicity that is matched with a lot of the older modulars except Market Street, because Market Street's, you know, no one really even bought it. But, Pet Shop is fantastic exterior wise. It's really good. I mean, I like the pet sign and whatnot, you know. The coloring on the townhouse is, you know, it's great. I definitely do like this set a lot. You know, I have a friend who has a Stop Chris film, so I have seen it in real life. It's not like this set just is, I've never seen it, you know, I have so much animosity towards it. No, like, I remember seeing it in a lot of old brick films, and I was like, that has to be, like, the coolest modular. I remember it was my brother's favorite modular at one point when he was seeing it in all those brick films, but, after looking at it again, I really don't think this is, one of the better modulars, actually. there's some problems with it, especially interior. Interior is my main problem with the set. Most of the set is just bare or, like, lacks interior, you know. I mean, I get it. You could make good modulars without interiors, you know. Hey, Cafe Corner, the most iconic modular, the first modular, and what a lot of people rank the best modular of all time, has zero interior. But where Cafe Corner, you know, it stands with that beautiful exterior and that it's the first modular, I don't think this has as great of an exterior or really can have those legs that Cafe Corner has, you know. I really like this set a lot, though. The pet shop area itself is fantastic. I think that's great. But everywhere else is I feel, filler. I mean, maybe they could have expanded the pet shop into, like, you know, all of the first floor. Then they could have made, like, 2 apartments up top or whatever. But they made half of it an apartment and the other half a 1-floor pet shop and the other 2 up top an apartment. It's definitely a kind of bland modular in my opinion. I don't care for this modular as much as I do for others. I used to be like, oh yeah, pet shop, man, this is one of the best modulars of all time. But now I'm just like, I'm probably gonna wait on it. You know, I'm still probably gonna buy it, to be honest, because I still think it would be a fantastic addition to my collection. But pet shop definitely, I don't think is one of the better modulars. In fact, it's really gone down in years. Just watching reviews on it being like, you know, this isn't even that great. You know, if the interior wasn't so bare with that excuse of, oh, we're painting. Which, I mean, just stop. Don't try. Don't even try at that point. Just say, oh, yeah, we were kind of lazy. We wanted to make the piece count a little less, you know. Just say that, you know. But Pet Shop is going to be ranked this low, and let's move on to the next spot on the ranking.
Can't we be sweethearts? Why don't we fall in love?
Coming up next on the ranking is one of the more modern modulars, and that is Corner Garage. Now, where Corner Garage mainly fails, in my opinion, is the price point. $200 for 2,500 pieces. That's really not a good selling point to me. Like, Bookshop was $180 for 2,500 pieces. I know you guys are like, oh, Caleb, don't be so cheap. It's $20. But, like a modular that sold for $200 was Police Station. You know, Police Station has 2,900 pieces. That's 400 more pieces. That's literally 5 cents more per, 5 cents actually less per piece. Which, I mean, that's such a better deal than Corner Garage. I mean, Corner Garage just wasn't a great deal. You know, there are some build problems, like the facade in the front where the gas station pump is and whatnot. That is not even centered on the building. It's actually built to be centered on the base plate, which I guess is, depending on who you are, it's either genius or it just looks stupid, which to me, I actually kind of like it, but you know, it's 50-50. You know, I kind of realized that recently and I was just like, oh, god damn it. The interior for the first floor, kind of sparse. It's not great. The second floor, this is probably my favorite floor of the set. I love the second floor of the set. It's fantastic. You know, it's a veterinarian's office, and some of the stuff that we get inside is great. And the third floor just almost kind of feels like filler, in my opinion. And, you know, everyone says this is really one of the best modulars for the roof access, which, yeah, I'm totally down for that. The roof is a really cool area. You know, they actually put stuff on top, even though it's only like a chair, an umbrella, and an entrance. You know, I still think that's really cool to have, you know. The Corner Garage definitely has more positives than negatives, but I definitely do think it's weighed down by the price point. We do get our own tow truck in the set, which is, you know, for a modular to include a you know, a truck or a vehicle like this is really cool. You know, other modulars, only about 3 others from what I know, include vehicles, and this is definitely a cool vehicle to get in this set. You know, an actual working tow truck, which LEGO City's been delivering us forever, but this is really cool. You know, some of the cool parts like that's the set, the door on the bottom floor that has the paw sign or whatever to lead up to the vet. That's really cool. Some parts that I don't like, this set, the exterior is really built on a lot of 1x1, like, modulated pieces, like these 1x1 triangles and these, you know, 1x1 little curved pieces, you know. Especially the 1x1 triangles, and, like, a lot of 1x1s just in general are used in the build for, like, the structure and whatnot, which those pieces are hard to align a lot of times. You have to really, like, during the build, they have to be aligned. And looking back at my Corner Garage now, you know, I got it in August, so it really has a lot of unaligned 1x1, so I might have to, like, take parts apart and just realign those to make it look better for my OCD, to be honest. You know, those front triangular 1x1s are a pain in my ass. I'll tell you what, those things are horrible in my opinion. But otherwise than that, Corner Garage, it's okay. If you're out there and you have $200 to spend and you're like, I want a modular, it's there. I mean, I'd rather get Bookshop or hell, even Downtown Diner, which sadly is probably going to go out of stock soon. But, you know, definitely very low on my list, and I think it deserves that.
Can't we be sweethearts? Why don't we fall in love?
Next on the ranking, Cafe Corner. Woohoo! The best modular according to a lot of people, but not to me. I get the appeal of this modular, and I get why it's ranked the best on a lot of people's lists. First off, a lot of people who rank it the best, you know, they grew up on the modulars, or, you know, they had the modulars since Cafe Corner, and they were like, you know, it started it all. You know, I don't care too much for that logic, but I get it. I actually get why that logic is a thing, and I can see where it comes from. That's why this set really is this high on the ranking, honestly, because this is what started it all. I mean, Cafe Corner just made modulars a thing, you know, before, I don't know, Market Street, like, that came out right after this, which, you know, barely counts as a modular. Of course, I've already talked about that. I don't need to ramble on about that anymore. But Cafe Corner, you know, some of the great parts of the set, the exterior, you know, the huge hotel sign, it's just fantastic. It's a fantastic build. This was a real upgrade from LEGO from their other builds. I really feel that this is a fantastic set. You know, the interior, I don't like it at all. That's why this isn't going any higher, is because the interior is literally nothing. Just, you know, it isn't anything at all. But I do like the style. This is a hotel and a cafe. I think that's really cool. This really set up the formula for all the modulars from now on. Amazing building techniques with, you know, multi-layered, just, multi-floored, I'm sorry, that's fucking retarded. Multi-floored, you know, levels that go apart like that, you know. Cool little bell tower built at the top that looks amazing. The exterior is phenomenal. The exterior is one of the best on any modulars, in my opinion. It's so fantastic. You have that cool facade above the door, which they reference in Assembly Square, which comes up later on the list. You know, you have some of these you know, a lot of the parts on the set, they aren't cheap. I went on Bricklink because I'm still thinking about parting the set together, because I feel like that's a cheaper way than even getting it for the price that you can get it at now, which is absurd. This set goes for a lot of money on secondhand markets, but I still think this set's amazing. You know, a lot of the pieces they used were unique, and, you know, they still cost $12-13 to this day, which is, I can't. I want to get this set so bad, but it's gonna be hard, you know. It came with a couple of minifigs, though. I'm not judging these modulars based off the minifigs. I don't really think that's a good way of judging modulars. I think they're all about the buildings and not really about the minifigs. But yeah, I think Cafe Corner is an amazing modular. It's really the first good modular, I would say, on this list. No, it's you know, a good Lego set. It's an amazing Lego set, but modular wise, I think this is the first good modular on this ranking.
We be sweethearts, why don't we fall in love?
Next on the ranking is Green Grocer. Now, why I'm putting Green Grocer above Cafe Corner is because it has more interior, which, you know, speaking, it kind of goes for itself. You know, Cafe Corner had zero interior, and Green Grocer actually has a bit of interior. On the bottom floor especially, there's a lot of, I really like the interior on the bottom floor. I think the grocery store part itself is just fantastic. The second and third floor, though, they're not great. They aren't good at all, to be honest. I don't like the second and third floors at all. I mean, sure, they have some cool mini builds, like that fireplace in the grandfather clock. Shout out to OTC Studios, by the way. But I don't feel that they're spacious enough. The third floor is better than the second. You know, it has a rug and whatnot, but the second floor is just so, it's straight out of, like, Cafe Corner. But I do think that the exterior is pretty great on this set, to be honest. I love the exterior. You know, some of the pieces they use, like those snake pieces on the doorway, I think that's a fantastic use of those pieces, because really we don't get used to those pieces in a lot of other sets, and I think it's great that we get use of them here. But other than that, I really think this is a fantastic modular. You know, the minifigs themselves, you know, they're all right, they're whatever. But I feel that Green Grocer is one of the archetypes, just like Cafe Corner was for a lot of other modulars, because we got you know, we got interior. This was really the archetype for interior. I feel like Bookshop and other modulars really base themselves off that first floor interior, especially. You know, the first floor interior, actually, like a lot with the fridge and the you know, the little baskets full of food and whatnot. I think that's great. And the floor tiling, I don't care for, to be honest. The floor tiling is kind of like Bookshop, where I don't really like it. But everything else about that first floor is actually fantastic. And the exterior is pretty great too, to be honest. That green color really works well on a modular, in my opinion. The way I see it, modulars work better with the more bland, you know, bleached out colors, as I would call them. You know, not really the stick out colors, you know, even though an obvious, I know I've talked about it a lot on this ranking spot already, but an obvious contender like opposition to this would be Bookshop, because I think Bookshop works very well exterior and interior wise, but I'll get into that when I get into that a couple more spots later on the list. Anyways, Green Grocer, fantastic modular. Moving on to the next modular on the ranking.
We be sweethearts, why don't we fall in love?
Up next on the ranking is Fire Brigade. Now, I know, I'm getting all these old modulars out of, like, you know, you don't even care about these, you know, whatever. Even though I actually do, I like these modulars a lot. And, you know, the last 3 I've talked about I actually really love, and hell, even Corner Garage, you know, because I own it, I have sentimental value to it. But, Fire Brigade's amazing. The interior on the second floor, I believe there's only 2 floors on this. On the second floor is fantastic. It is one of the best interiors in any modular with all the mini builds it has and whatnot. I think that is one of the most fantastic things that has been put into modular, and the exterior is pretty fantastic too. I mean, you look at that American flag build. I mean, what a cool technique they did with all those 1x1s. It's fantastic. I mean, maybe alignment could be off, which would, you know, be my main problem with this, but I'm not sure because I don't own the set, to be honest. That's my main problem with making this video, is I don't own a lot of modulars. I only own 3 of them, and I'm looking at them right now. Hi, modulars. But anyways, Fire Brigade, I mean, it seems like an awesome set. You know, the year written on the, you know, the fire station itself is pretty cool. The one reason I have it below the neck, the one that's coming up next, is because I feel Lego's done so many fire stations, and, you know, they did the Ghostbusters HQ, which was another DTC fire station, which they actually did, you know, really well. I think that set was done so, like, really good. I think that's one of my favorite, you know, Lego sets of all time, and that's why I really don't have Fire Brigade higher. It does come with a fire truck, though, which, you know, that really puts it ahead, especially because it's an old fire wagon and whatnot. You know, the first floor interior, it's a little bare, but I still understand why. You know, it's a garage and whatnot. You know, some of the cool things about this set, it has a garage door leading into there from the front, and it has one leading out to there. In the back, it has 2 garage doors on it, which I think is, you know, it's pretty cool to include that on a modular. You know, most modulars are just, you know, the first level is all just, you know, like storage space or houses or whatever. Not storage space, but retail space, you know what I mean? But in this one, I think they took it a whole different direction, which I really like. This is a very unique modular, which I like about it a lot. They have the cool bell tower, which actually has a cool bell build, in it, which is, you know, a fantastic build. The fact that they put that in this modular, I think it's perfect. This modular has a lot of so much good things going for it. My only problem really is that, you know, Lego's outdone it a little bit, which, you know, is kind of, it could be, depending on who you are, it could be the most stupid logic I could have used, or, you know, it could have been the most smart thing I could have said ever, but I think Lego has outdone this set a little too much for me to rank it a little higher. And also, you know, the first floor, the interior is just a little too sparse for me. I kind of like a more cramped interior than anything. You know, some of the ones that come up, you know, have some great interiors, you know, just like with a lot of stuff in it, a lot of detail. I just feel the first floor is kind of lacking that. But otherwise than that, the exterior on the set's fantastic. You know, the second floor interior is some of the best in any modulars. You know, I'm kind of all over the place with this ranking because I'm so excited about it, because this is probably the modular I've looked the least into out of any of these. Or Green Grocer's out there. I never really looked into Green Grocer a lot before making this video, but I think those are both fantastic sets. I think this is a fantastic modular. I love this modular a lot. It was neck and neck with the one that's coming up next, but, you know, with the logic that you know, Lego's kind of outdone fire stations a little bit. That's where that's why the one that comes up next is coming up, and, you know, they both have something in common. They both have the years. They both have years on the front of their building. So coming up next is,
Can't we be sweethearts? Why don't we fall in love?
up next on the ranking is Town Hall. Now, Town Hall at one point was the biggest modular that Lego ever released. Of course, it has been passed by 2 modulars at this point, Police Station and Assembly Square, but this is just a fantastic set, to be honest. I love this set a lot. You know, this was a very nostalgic set to me. You know, some of the older modulars were like that too. Pet Shop, Grand Emporium, but really nostalgia doesn't play a factor too much into this ranking because, well, I never owned any of these, so anyways, Town Hall is so good. The exterior itself is where I think it's kind of lackluster. I mean, that, you know, it's very big, it's very tall. That's where I think it really shines, is its grandiose scale compared to the other modulars. Like, Assembly Square has a grandiose scale, width and, like, kind of height. Like, it's like kind of like 3 mini modulars put into one. It's kind of like that, but Assembly Square is really fucking good, so I'm not gonna keep going on about that. But Town Hall just feels like this huge set built on a 32 by 32. It's insane. It's not like Police Station where it has dips and dives. It's just one big, like, beast. Of course, it has the big bell tower build at the top of the at the center of the building where the year is, which I'm sure it's a significant year to Lego. I don't exactly know what year it is at this moment, or like what it means, why it's significant. I don't know that right now, but I know that it's definitely important to Lego. Same for the one on the Fire Brigade. I can't believe I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think to mention that either. But no, this set's awesome. Mainly, I like the interior a lot in this set. Actually, I think the interior is pretty fantastic. You know, there's some of like on the first. It's all very similar. It's a lot of desk chairs. You know, the mayor's office, I think, is the coolest part of the interior, really. It's really cool, and the meeting room is pretty cool to add there, you know. Kind of reminds me a lot of The Wire, you know, the best TV show of all time, you know, where you get Tommy Carcetti and the boys meeting up in the room talking about the education system and whatnot. But I'm not going to ramble on about a thing probably none of you have seen, because a lot of you are going to be under the age of, like, 12, and The Wire is definitely not something a lot of people in that age range have seen. But anyways, no, the Town Hall is fantastic. I like a lot of it, a lot of the parts of it, just in general, you know. Exterior-wise, otherwise than the year and the bell tower itself, I think a lot of it's cool. Like, it's very uniform. It's very, like, I heard someone, I'm not sure who it was, because I watched a lot of ranking videos of the modulars, like, a couple of months ago, and I thought they were all, you know, they're all pretty cool, and they all have an interesting perspective. I think you should go watch the other ones. I'll leave some links in the description to some other videos I like a lot, but a lot of people, like, I think one person in particular said, like, you, like, cut certain modulars in half and they become, like, you can fold them and they're like, the same, you know, thing. He said it about Grand Emporium and Cafe Corner, but, he mainly said it about quarter pieces. He didn't say it about this one, though, and this one is very much like that. But I think this one is, like, a beautiful centerpiece if you're making, like, a modular city. This is, like, the perfect, Lego centerpiece. I really like this set a lot. I think it's really good for that, you know. I believe this is just such a great set, to be honest. Like, this is what I'd love to own. You know, it was definitely great for the price it came out at the time, and I really like this set a lot. This was a big set for Lego and modulars because, you know, it wasn't, you know, the same size building as it usually was. You know, they just went on a huge scale for this set, which is awesome. And this set's fantastic, to be honest. This is one of my favorite. This is definitely a great modular. Moving on to the next modular on the ranking.
We be sweethearts, why don't we fall in love?
Up next, we got Bookshop. Now, Bookshop is a mixed bag in the modular community. Well, I guess I would call it a community, more the Lego community, because everyone loves modulars. Let's just be real here. But, yeah, Bookshop's a real mixed bag among a lot of people. I've seen a lot of people rank it really high, and I've seen a lot of people rank it really low. How do I feel? I feel it's a fantastic modular, actually. I feel like this is definitely, despite all the color, you know, scheme, with it being, you know, color scheme, good old Brick Queen reference to all you gamers out there, but, despite the color scheme being very odd and very different from any other modular that we've ever seen, it actually is a pretty normal modular when you think of it. You know, half of it is a really cool townhouse section, and the other half of it is a, you know, bookstore and little apartment above. This is honestly an awesome modular. I own it. It's one of the 3 I own. You know, I got that, Corner Garage, and I have Police Station, you know. You know, boys gotta get it done. Shout out to Andrew or Chaotic Fate for also owning Police Station and Bookshop. But, no, this is actually a really great modular. Starting out with what most people would consider the best part of it, exterior. The exterior of this modular is fantastic. Just some of the outer designs with the piece working. I think they did it better here than they did in Corner Garage, because in Corner Garage it all has to be synchronized by 1x1s, which is a huge pain in my ass, might I add. So, like, on here they definitely relied more on, like, arches, flat arches, which, such a better technique to me. It looks a lot better. I just think it looks a lot nicer. A lot of the techniques they use at the top of the Bookshop roof in general just look nice, like the microphone pieces on top of the ice cream cone pieces in light gray. I think that's really good technique for a cool heading piece on the roof. You know, the skeleton legs with the bar on top of them at the top of that roof is fantastic. I think really that side of the place looks amazing. A lot of the windowing and shit like that, it looks so good. The Bookshop sign itself, of course, can't go without saying that's a fantastic feature. On the other side, we have the townhouse, which, Oh my god, I love the exterior of this place. Now, I know I said usually the washed out colors are usually the ones that, you know, look better on modulars, but on here, I really think it's almost the opposite, as the really, like, the teal, darkish blue here works really fucking well on this modular. I think it's awesome. I think it really contrasts well with the, white and tan, which are the other colors on here, and the light gray, of course, which I think it works really well. You know, this building is actually probably my favorite part of the set. I love this building a lot. Now, I'm talking about the interior. My main problem with the set is the interior of the bookstore. You know, I can't go on saying the set's all nice and have it this low on my list, or, you know, this in the middle, or whatever you want to classify it as. But, the interior of the bookstore itself is my least favorite part of this set, simply because it's not that much. You know, there's a couple of bookshelves. I wish they would have added, like, at least one or two more bookshelves to give it more of a bookshop aesthetic, but really they didn't. It is a big part of the set, though. I will admit that the bookshop area is pretty big, and it's about a sixth, not even a sixth, like a fifth of the set, if I'm being honest. I definitely like the bookshop area. I think it's alright. I don't like the tiling either. The tiling on the floor is ugly, dude. I don't like the colors they use. It definitely doesn't work out well. That's a shared sentiment a lot between the brick film, not the brick film community, the community of Lego collectors in general. I think that's a it just doesn't look good, you know. My friend Jake, you know, shout out to Greenbrick Studios. I'm just shouting out to all my friends in this video. He told me on a podcast we do, NWLP podcast. Watch it. It occurs every month, I think. It's gonna be my schedule that I'm gonna try and do now. But no, but he said, like, the balcony, it was, like, his main problem. He thinks it takes away from it. But there's a bookshelf under the balcony, which I don't disagree with that sentiment, but I can see where he's coming from. And I did say the staircase, you know, there's a staircase on the exterior of the blue area, which looks so nice, by the way. It looks so nice. But on the interior itself, the staircase going all the way up the apartment area and the bookshop area is really cool. My favorite part about bookshop are these house areas in it, though. I think they outdid them here. They have a really cool grandfather clock build, which, while the one in Green Grocer was simple but effective, I think the one here is just fantastic. I think what they did here was instrumentally amazing, what they did with the grandfather clock here. Also, the chair build looks really cool, and some of the builds inside this little apartment area above bookshop is just so good on that second floor. It's amazing. And on the third floor, we have an awesome bed build with this alright chameleon cage. I really wish cage, you know, crate, whatever you want to call it. It's not a crate or a cage. I'm not sure what to call it. Aquarium. That's what it is. That's the word I was looking for. But I think it just looks really cool the way. I think it looks alright. I mean, I know I said really cool a second ago, but it looks alright because of it's not enclosed all the way, which really weirds me out. But the bed build up there is awesome, and like, if we go to the other half of with the interior, there's a little bottom floor, like almost a crawl space, you know, Breaking Bad reference, oh my god. No, but the crawl space where they have the ladder and like some of the cool little desks. I thought that was one of the coolest features of the set. Honestly, it's really cool. And then you go up to the second floor, which is just has so much detail with these cabinets and these tables and these chairs. This set is so nice. And we go to the third floor, which is the master bedroom, which I will admit it has an interesting technique of removing the roof or whatever, because you don't remove the roof. Like, the room is split in half and then you remove it. There's a cool little hatch on the back of it. It's really cool. But if you go inside, it has probably the best bed build that Lego ever gave us. It's such a nice bed build. It is so amazing. And we have a cool dresser build, which I think is fantastic. And I could go on about this set all day. I just love this set so much. It's such a nice set for a lot of the mini builds and whatnot. There are some problems here and there, I will admit. You know, I don't think it should have been built on a green base plate, to be honest. I don't think it fits it. I think the tan base plate might have fit a little better, especially with those autumn colors on the bookshop area itself. And the tree, I could live with or without. I saw Alex Nunes, you know, obviously when you're talking about modulars, Alex Nunes is one of those names who comes to your mind. But I saw that he that's what really the reason he hated this, and I think that's not really a big thing. It's like one step. I'm sure it's like a step of the build, and it's not the greatest looking thing, but I mean, it isn't even that horrible, and it does play into the story, which I really do like. This has a better story in my opinion than Corner Garage, which Corner Garage was stupid story in my opinion, but this is a great one. This is a fantastic set, and we're gonna move on to the next modular on the ranking.
Can't we be sweethearts? Why don't we fall in love?
Up next on the ranking is Brickbank. Now, Brickbank is a fantastic and probably, in my opinion, the most underrated modular. Now, this set is amazing. I really love this set a lot. Sure, you could say the interior for the bank's a little lackluster, which I guess so. I mean, it's kind of cool in my opinion, though. You know, the first floor, you got the safe, and you got some... You know, I think the first floor is pretty cool with that safe feature and whatnot, and I really love the first floor a lot with the desk and the safe feature. I think that's probably one of the coolest things. Sure, the second floor is a little bland with just the manager's office and whatnot. I get that kind of complaint, but the laundromat area, I think that's really cool. The interior for that laundromat area is actually amazing. I love how it connects to the bank with the I love how it connects to the bank for the story. We can get into that later, but if we talk about exterior. Oh, this modular is so good exterior-wise. First off, it's a corner piece. They made this a corner piece, which is excellent in my opinion. This looks like it's a front-facing piece in my opinion. If you just like bought it and you're like, oh yeah, I'm not getting a corner piece. But then you see this and this is like, oh, this is a corner piece, really? Because it looks so good from the front, but it also looks good from the side. That's why it's a corner piece. It's unique because it isn't in an L shape like the other corner pieces. It's actually like built differently, which is really cool. And the sidewalk pattern I think is one of the best on any of the modulars, really. I think some of the tiling they did there is really cool. Sure, it may not be consistent with some of the other modulars, but I think it's fantastic. I think this fits in very well with any Lego City. You know, the top roof has this the roof has this cool window area. Kind of reminds me of like Rainbow Six or whatever, where you just this cool like tile, like glass panel roof, which, I mean, that technique that they used to build that's fantastic. I really like that glass roof or whatever. It reminds me of Jane's, Jane Bricks Lego Mall. Shout out to Jane Bricks, because he really needs one of those from me. But, no, the exterior is also great with a lot of the techniques they use. I mean, sure, it relies kind of on 1x1s, but it looks like they're using some of those, like, 1x1s to put not metal pieces, but, metallic looking pieces in place to, even out a pattern, and it doesn't look like you can, like, fuck up the pattern like you can on Corner Garage, which I really like. So that really helps this a lot. And I really feel like the exterior at the bottom floor, like all those tiles, like all in there, and like I think that looks really nice. I think that really adds to the exterior. The printing on the bank itself looks like an actual bank, which it just adds to the aesthetic of this place, which is very colonial, very like very almost office Capitol building-esque, which it just looks really nice. It's one of my favorite modulars exterior-wise. I think it's fantastic in that regard. And, we have this cool clock piece on the corner, which I think is a fantastic thing. Like, honestly, this is one of my favorite corner pieces. It has such cool features. There's a cool little, there's some cool little stuff hanging off the laundromat, which looks cool. The laundromat sign is fantastic. How they put the the laundry machine and the pair of pants out there. I think that's a really cool technique they did. I really do like what they did a lot with the set. The tree looks cool. Some people might like this tree a lot more than they would say the one in Bookshop, because it's not taking up as much space. It's not blocking the exterior as much. Yeah, but I think it's fantastic. There's some additional accessories which are all for story, which is what I want to talk about next. The story. The story of this is money laundering.
Committed money laundering?
Which, kind of cool that they added a laundromat there, even though it has nothing to do with what money laundering actually it could, because the bank could be selling drugs or something like Walter White, and they could just be like, hey, we bought a laundromat and we're gonna funnel our money through here. But and they actually funnel money through the washing machines, which is just such a cool feature. It's such an interesting thing that Lego did. Lego, I mean, they put big brain on this set. I'm not gonna lie. The feature of actually putting like money through the washer and it's like money laundering. I mean, that's funny as hell. That's like taking practical humor to the max right there. I love this set a lot, man. This set's fantastic. I think it's so good. If it wasn't for the two other corner pieces, which are two of the best modulars of all time and two of the best Lego sets of all time, this would be so much higher. All the building techniques on this are fantastic. I love this set so much. But enough about me raving on this set. That's why it's ranked here. Now we're moving on to the next modular on the ranking.
We be sweethearts, why don't we fall in love?
Coming up next on the ranking is Parisian Restaurant. This is one of the most aesthetically pleasing modulars in my opinion. It has one of the best exteriors. The exterior, it's so good. You have, of course, you have the classic sign, Yeah, I gotta play that Brick Tavern clip for you guys. You know, you have a cool little park bench in front. You have a great seating area with those tree plant pieces on top, really like an Olive Garden almost thing, like a very luxurious restaurant type thing with the lamps. It's really beautiful scenery. Remember, this set came out in 2014. It isn't a 2020 set or anything. This set came out in 2014, and it's a fantastic modular, and the theming's fantastic for 2014. Then you go up to the second floor. You know, the continuity for the exterior, you know, it's still there. And you go up to the third floor, and it has this really cool clamshell like design that's really cool. You know, there's even clamshells on there, but it's just, the design is so nice. It looks like something out of Paris. It's so beautiful. But otherwise than that, for the exterior, you had the balcony for the restaurant, which is a really cool little seating area. You know, I'm glad they added that. It really adds on to the luxurious restaurant aspect of this whole set. You know, it's beautiful. They have the menu outside with the red carpet while you're walking in. I mean, just what a beautiful set design. Honestly, the set's beautiful. Now, why it's so low is well, number one, it really takes up not a lot of the base plate on, which is a problem in my opinion. It takes up like barely any of the base plate on the thing, so it's kind of a lot of the room in there's filler. But other than that, it really is that the second and third floor aren't the greatest thing ever. The art studio is cool. I'm glad if there's a set that LEGO needed to add an art studio in for a modular, it would be this one for sure. And the second floor is alright, but the art studio is pretty cool. I don't really care for the interior unless it's on the first floor for this set too much, but I think it's pretty decent. But this modular is so beautiful from the exterior. I can like look past that a lot and rank it this high. You know, I mean, if you even look at the chimney and that pattern it has almost a you know, an old like Italian restaurant aesthetic. Even though this is clearly based on a luxurious restaurant in like Paris or whatever, it's still, it's a really nice build in my opinion. This is definitely one I'm looking to have. It was on lego.com for a while. It sold for like 5 years. This is a great set. I'm really looking to buy this set. You know, you also have the hanging plants on the balcony. I mean, how cool is that? This set is awesome in my opinion. One of the best modulars you can get. Now we move on to the next one on our ranking.
Can't we be sweethearts? Why don't we fall in love?
Up next is Detective's Office. Detective's Office is a fantastic modular. This is the 2015 modular, and I feel that this is the best modular story-wise. Well, not the best, maybe not the best. I'm not too sure. There's a couple of that contend. Brickbank and Police Station are the two that contend for me. But the story in the interaction with the story in this set is crazy. I love the way that it interacts. It's great with the little holes that you can move the candy through, because it's based on Prohibition, you know, the 1920s era, which is, you know, just a really cool thing to base a modular off of, in my opinion. You know, a lot of modulars are based off the decade, of course. You know, this one 1920s. You know, Downtown Diner 1950s, stuff like that. But this is a really cool modular for the story and whatnot. That's one of the reasons I love this set. You know, the Owl's barbershop facade on the exterior, I think that's another fantastic inclusion on the set. Definitely works out well in my opinion, and I really do like that part. You know, you also have the pool sign, which is just really cool. A really cool build for the exterior. But otherwise than that, speaking of the exterior, otherwise, the pool hall, that is one of my favorite builds in a modular exterior-wise. It's so fantastic. The techniques they use with those ball pin joints, I think that's really cool. You know, some of the round roofing on there looks really cool. You know, the upper floor, which is the actual detective's office itself, with those brick walls, I think that works out really well. Those pieces were one of the best things that LEGO could have invented because of how they work out with the walls. I really do like that aspect of the set a lot. If we go to the Owl's barbershop side itself, I think the barbershop area is cool. Above that, that's the weakest part of the set in my opinion, is that brown and blue mix. I don't think that works out too well for the exterior. You know, I just think it doesn't look right in my opinion. You know, you can't make shit in the sky and then be like, it works out so well, oh my god. That's probably my least favorite part. One of my favorite parts about the exterior though is we have like little balconies. It's a fire escape, but this little fire escape area, that's really cool to add in a modular. They add a depth of field in this modular that they really don't really any other modular, which I think is so cool for this. You know, the fact that it's really cool is I always thought this was built on like not a 48 by 4, like a 48 by 32 or some modulated plate like that. This is built on a 32 by 32, guys, which means I guess the buildings have to be a little slimmer than I thought they would be, but this has to be a fantastic set to own. Clearly, I don't own it, but I think it's really cool. Of course, we have the little alleyway in the middle, which is also another cool feature about the exterior that I really like. Otherwise than that, the interior, the pool hall has one of the coolest and probably my favorite mini build from any of the modulars, which is the pool table itself. The billiards table is really fucking cool. That's a great mini build to get in the Lego set. I really like that. You know, Flapjack Films famously used it in the his Deadpool movie stop motion, which is, you know, one of the best stop motions out there on YouTube, and it's just such a cool build. It's so cool. I really want this set, like, for that side itself. That's, like, such a cool side. Then you move up to the second floor where you have the detective's office. You know, it really gives off that film noir 1920s aesthetic, that, you know, that mafia movie 1930s aesthetic that's just so nice. You know, it's cramped. The desk is really nice with some cool little mini builds in there that I think is, you know, I think it looks really cool. I really like that part of this set. If you move over to the interior for the barbershop area itself, the interior of the barbershop, it's pretty good. The interior of the barbershop I like a lot. You know, the floor tiles actually match up right with the barbershop, unlike they do for like the Green Grocer or the bookshop. Yeah, the bookshop. But you know, but the second and third floor are where I have my main problems with the set. They're apartments. You know, apartments are a lot of filler and modulars in my opinion. But you know, there's not much interesting to these apartments. I mean, sure, there's some cool mini builds, but that's about it. These apartments are kind of useless in my opinion to the set. But I mean, otherwise than that, this set's so good. The newspaper dispenser outside, I forgot to mention that. Like, you see so many cool parts of the set. You know, the water tower build on the top of the detective's office is really cool. You know, they have that a lot now, like on the Sanctum Sanctorum, and even the police station, which actually has the most unique one out of any of them. But for sure, it's a great set for that stuff. This is one of my favorite modulars, and I think the building techniques used on this is awesome. Are awesome, sorry. But otherwise than that, this is an awesome modular, and I definitely want to buy this. So let's move on to the next modular on the ranking.
Can't we be sweethearts? Why don't we fall in love?
Up next on the ranking is Downtown Diner, and wow, this is a fantastic modular. I love this modular so much. You wouldn't even believe it. I want this modular so bad. You know, unfortunately, stock is on Lego.com's actually horrible, and I think they're retiring it because they won't even let you get alerts anymore, or it just sells that well. I mean, maybe it's another Parisian Restaurant where it's in that fucking, it's on that store for fucking 5 more years or 3 more years or whatever. I hope it is. I want this set so bad. It's such a good deal. $160 for this. I mean, for that piece count too, it's really great. And I mean, if we're not even talking about piece count here or whatever, I mean, wow. Just wow, this is a fantastic set. Number one, I guess I'm gonna start out a little more minimalistic. Let's start out with the exterior. It's not minimalistic at all, actually. It's very different from the other modulars. You have the diner sign that's brick built, and that's just what a cool sign. The fact that they did that well, you know, they do that well in modulars, which I really like. A lot of the signs are built with actual bricks, not Bookshop. And I guess Corner Garage, but Corner Garage is on a very small tile. I can consider that a lot different than Bookshop, but Bookshop is you know, it's actual like printed pieces and shit like that. But this one, they built like the lettering, which is, you know, really just a really cool thing. I like that Lego does a lot with these modulars. It's definitely a fantastic thing that I really like about this set. You know, otherwise than that, we have a cool little fucking car that comes with it, a cool little Homer Simpson car with like cool little Homer Simpson convertible almost. It's such a cool build for the Chad of the set, as I like to call him, to ride in on. You know, it's really cool. I mean, the exterior, it has that jukebox. That jukebox thing is so cool. It's such a fantastic addition to the set to add that jukebox exterior thing. It's really cool. And the fact that it's all glass window panes in there, I mean, it's fantastic. It also fits in with the theme of this set, having like the musical studio on the 3rd level, which is fantastic. I mean, the exterior is fantastic. The colors work very well because they work to the set's advantage because they really bounce off each other. You know, that pink and that blue and that white. They all really bounce off each other really well, which I do really like about this set. Another thing I love about this set is the interior. So first floor is the diner, which, I mean, this set's $170, guys, and the interior looks like this. The grill with the seats and with the bar seats. I mean, the amount of detail that goes into this with such like minimalist effort, I would even say, or maybe it's a lot of effort. I don't know, but it is so good. It is like such a detailed set for like you know, for what they could use. I feel this is such a great modular. Like the I like the flat top and how it converts, and how it's like that bar area is really cool. And then we move on to the second floor, which is the gym. I mean, the gym's really cool. I mean, whenever I see this set, or like the second floor, I'm always like, you can make your own Raging Bull recreation, but you can. Like the minifig, well, he doesn't really look like Jake LaMotta, but you know what I'm saying. Anyways, you know, it's just so cool that we have your own boxing ring, and like, I mean, the boxing ring is one of the coolest mini builds I've ever added in the modulars. I mean, it's really cool that they added this, and they put a lot of detail into the second and first floor, and not to mention, they also put a lot of detail into the third floor. I mean, you look at that third floor, and it's just, whoo, that is a fantastic floor for a modular. So the third floor is a music studio itself, and I mean, wow, like they actually have like a whole like little booth, which is kind of very accurate to how like actual music studios look like, the recording booth with all the like almost Lego acoustic foam. It's really cool. I mean, the detail that's put into this upper area is also really cool with all the printed pieces. You know, one of them shows up in the corner garage which came out the year after this. This is a 2018 modular, and like just a lot of the details in this upper floor are really cool. You know, the little record pieces. I mean, what a great set. What a great modular. This is a fantastic modular. I know a lot of people, it may not appeal to a lot of people because, you know, it's a little outlandish. You know, a lot of people like more minimalistic modulars, which, you know, it's pretty cool. I think I even said earlier in this video that, you know, I prefer some of the minimalistic modulars, but no, this is just such a cool set. The modular, I don't prefer, or I don't really have a preference on minimalist or non-minimalist modulars, because this is like probably the least minimalist modular there is, and I really love this. This set just goes all in, you know, for $170, the cheapest modular on the market right now, at least retail, you know, on Lego.com, on the market, that's still selling. I just think this is a fantastic modular. You know, the fact that you can get it for $170 instead of, you know, how basically the average price for modulars nowadays is $200. I mean, this is fantastic. It's better than it's pretty much in the middle of the modulars, and it's so good that are selling right now. So yeah, let's move on to the next modular on the rank.
We be sweethearts, why don't we fall in love?
Up next is the biggest modular of all time, and probably the one I will be talking about the longest. It is Assembly Square, just because there's so much here in Assembly Square. I mean, starting out with the exteriors, this set, let me start with, it's an homage to Lego and the modulars itself. It was actually the 10th anniversary set. So, you know, this is a, you know, it's an homage, you know, it's a really cool set, honestly. There's a lot of references to older modulars and, like, Lego fans and whatnot in this set. It's really fucking cool. You know, starting with the exterior on the far left building, you know, it's very cafe cornerish, especially on the first floor with that coffee mug and that, you know, the surrounding sunlight or whatever you would like to call it. And the other two floors, you know, they look okay. And then the next building is this green building, which I would assume would be based off the green Grocer. And, this building is really nice exterior-wise. Of course, you have the big flowers outside because there's a florist inside. The second floor is a photo studio, which is really cool. And the third floor is, well, there is no third floor. What am I saying? There's only 2 floors in that building. It's really cool, you know. And then you move on to the building to the far right, which I'm not sure what this is based off of. I feel like it's really, like, just Cafe Corner. I feel like Cafe Corner is, like, the 2 and then the one in the middle. Maybe it's Great Emporium. Who knows? Maybe it has inspiration from all of them. But, this building's really cool with the exterior. I like all the tiling work on the second floors. You know, that's really cool that they did that. You know, the tiling work, it looks really nice on that building, actually. And with the windows intersecting there, that white and that butterscotch color really work off each other really well, actually, in my opinion. And the exterior on the bottom floor of this building, you know, it's pretty good in my opinion, especially that pretzel on the sign, considering that this is a bakery. You know, it's definitely a cool thing to show there, you know. And the window tiling being like the garage door tiling on a lot of the modulars is really cool in my opinion. I really like that, you know. You know, the fact that this set fits so much for that $280 price point, you know, 4,000 pieces, just an absurdly, like, good deal for this, like, it's such a good set. I mean, otherwise than that, I think there's so much detail in the set. I mean, the courtyard has, like, these nice tables outside the, cafe and the bakery and whatnot. You know, it's really nice, you know. It has that fountain in the middle, which just looks so beautiful. Just such a beautiful set piece to have, you know. Some of the cool things here, we have the Lego fans apartment in the, far right building on the second floor, which is just, you know, it's just so great. What an homage to Lego fans, to be honest. Lego really knows their fans well, I guess. You know, not really sometimes, but, you know, for this, I mean, it's really nice apartment. That's cool. I know I call a lot of apartments and modulars, you know, filler, but here I don't think that at all, actually. I think this is like much different from filler. I mean, otherwise than that, of course, the third floor of the building is a dentist, which is cool because we get a lot of doctor's office. We have a veterinarian's office, we have a barber shop, which it's not a doctor's office, but it's kind of is. But the fact that it's the fact that it is a dentist is really cool to see in Lego. Even though it's a really small office, and I guess it isn't the greatest interior. I'll get into that later. But I mean, it's just not the greatest interior. And then the bottom floor is the bakery itself, which is, I mean, what a great interior for a bakery. A lot of stuff is crammed in there, and it looks so nice. A lot of stuff's happening there. It's very active, very fluent. I really like that part. Moving on to the middle building for the interior, you have the bottom floor, which is the florist area. I mean, the florist area is really nice, to be honest. It just looks just so beautiful. I mean, this set's vibrant. It just has so much detail to it in the interior and the exterior, which I really like. And that's why this bottom floor really looks nice, because there's so much happening in this fucking florist area. It's kind of great. And then you go to the second floor, which is the photo studio, which, I mean, wow. Lego really did themselves here with this little photo mini build and this cool figure that they had taking the photos and whatnot, and like this cool like studio. It just looks so nice. I mean, the aesthetic of this like studio is so pleasing to me. I really like it a lot. I really think that it works out very well for the set, But yeah, I mean, considering photography is a big thing for Lego, like stop motion takes photography, and actual Lego photography on Instagram and whatnot. But I mean, that second floor, just like, wow, what a great floor. And then you move on to the building to the far left, where the bottom is like a cafe, and it's really nice with how the colors work out. It's very, kind of low-key area on the set, for the set that's just vibrant with a bunch of areas. It's very low-key, but it's very nice, It's just very, beautiful interior. And of course, the third floor is a ballet studio, which, it's pretty cool to actually include one of these, because, I mean, it appeals to people, and it's a cool little area. I mean, it looks really nice, to be honest. I really like this area. And below that is a cool band area, which is like, that's awesome, man. You're including that in a modular. That's really cool that they're not like skimming out on this modular because, maybe we can get the piece count down a little for the price. No. They really deliver for the fans on this set, which I really like. This set is so good, honestly. I love this set so much. I mean, they have that cool piano mini build in the ballet studio, and they have like all those, they have like the drum mini build in the band area, which is just super nice. This set is so much detail and super nice. And for $280 for 4,000 pieces, I mean, that's a legendary price per piece count, and it's just a legendary set in general. And like, this is one I really hope to have in the future. I think this fits really well in with the modulars, and I really love the set so much. It pays so much homage to the to Lego fans who have been collecting these sets forever, which, I mean, it's not me, but I do have modulars, and it really does pay good homage to these, and I really like it a lot. So that's why it ranks us high. Moving on to the next modular on my ranking.
Can't we be sweethearts? Why don't we fall in love?
Up next is the modular that was my favorite as a kid, and, I still love this modular to this day, and it is Grand Emporium. Grand Emporium is such an awesome modular. Exterior-wise, I mean, this is basically as good as it gets. It looks like a big shop straight out of New York City. I mean, look at it. It's so beautiful. The tan really works well with that dark gray. Those facades at the bottom are beautiful. They work well to look as a display case. I think that's beautiful to me. Not to mention the revolving door at the bottom is just so good. Above that shop sign made out of Lego on the curvature, I mean, oh man, like name some better exterior than this. It's really gonna be hard for you to find. And of course the flags. I mean, this does look like literally a store straight out of a major metropolitan area. I mean, this is awesome, like in a major city. And I mean, the glass, the cool like dark green windows working off that tan coloring. I mean, what an awesome set exterior wise, just being honest. I mean, this looks so good. This is probably the modular I want a lot. Like, this is one of the ones I want the most for sure. I mean, it has some cool other features. Like, it has the window washing, little lever bar, or whatever you would like to call it. It's weird, but that's what a cool feature to have in a set. I mean, that's just a cool little extra build to add here. I mean, Lego for sure did not need to do that, but they did anyways because they knew that it would work well, and it did. And another thing cool that they added here, they have a billboard. I mean, the fuck, a billboard? Like, really? Did you really expect that? And it's a Lego made too, which is like a add-on, just a cool ass Lego made billboard. I mean, just what an awesome set exterior wise. This set is fantastic. My friend Stop Chris, shout out to Stop Chris again. He owns 4 modulars, and this is the newest one he got. He got it about last week, and I mean, I can't wait to go back over to his house and see it, because I've always wanted to see this modular. And I mean, not just talk about the exterior, let me talk about the interior. Oh my god, this is one of the best interiors for an early modular. I mean, not to mention like all the shopping areas on the first floor, and like just like that was cool. I mean, but like, think about like the escalator. I mean, what a cool feature to add in a Lego modular. I mean, I like how unique this is. That's really one of the things that puts some modulars above others is uniqueness. And this one has so much uniqueness in it. It's absurd. Not because you have that billboard, you have that escalator, you have that window washer thingy. I'm not sure the exact nomenclature for it. I'm sorry about that, guys. But I mean, otherwise than that, the mini builds inside, like that chandelier, I mean, come on. Like, that's such a cool Lego build to add in a modular. I mean, they didn't need to do it, but they did anyways to make it look so great. That chandelier looks absolutely incredible. I mean, a lot of the mini builds in this set are just absolutely incredible. The Grand Emporium is one of my favorite fucking modulars of all time. It is so good. Otherwise than the stuff I've already mentioned for the interior, I mean, the changing room with the 2 cape pieces, I mean, that's just a fantastic technique for a build, in my opinion. Other things like the second floor is all shopping area. I mean, they didn't really, this is like the first modular I think they just went balls to the walls with the interior. It's just everywhere. I think this is one of the perfect modulars. There are a few perfect modulars, and this is one of them for sure, just because I can't find something wrong with this set, to be honest. I love it. I mean, sure, you could say, oh, they could have added more space, but they added the escalator, but the escalator just adds to the build, in my opinion, and it adds to the aesthetic of the set, which this set is awesome. This has always been one of my favorite modulars, and you know, that's really all I have to say about this set. Let's move on to the next modular.
We be sweethearts, why don't we fall in love?
Up next at number 2 is Palace Cinema. Now, Palace Cinema is one of the best modulars of all time. I mean, of course, it's at number 2. Why else would it be here? But I mean, just the design on the set is ridiculously amazing. I mean, come on. That palace, that cinema, that huge cinema sign on the outside with those yellow studs. I mean, whoever designed this set really deserved a large raise, because they designed a great fucking set. I mean, that cinema thing, I mean, that just brought me in. I mean, the roof, I mean, it clearly is based on the Chinese theater in Hollywood. I don't know the exact name at the moment, but, you know, I would if I looked it up. But this cinema is so fucking cool. I mean, we've got Lego cinemas, we got Lego town halls before in the town plan, but, like, they're very rare to come by, you know, they don't come out that often. But the fact that we got one like this, oh, man, so good. I mean, the exterior, best sidewalks in any modular by far. I mean, they have the stars on the sidewalk, which is just so cool, you know. I'm sure a lot of people might get mad about it because of that. Oh, my consistency in my city and whatnot. Like, shut the fuck up. I don't care. Like, I don't care about your consistency in your city, okay? But, I feel that it's just so cool. And I mean, like, the posters that hang up for the goddamn, the movies. I'm sorry, I feel retarded right now. But the posters that hang up for the movies, I mean, that's just a cool feature that they added there. I'm pretty sure they're stickers. I think my friend, Jake, shout out to Greenberg Studios again, and shout out to Sam, because he owns us too. Shout out to Gregory Animations. They both own it, and I'm pretty sure Sam told me that, not Sam, Jake told me that that those are stickers, and I'm like, oh, that kind of sucks, because there aren't, like, I think this is one of the only modulars with stickers, because I don't really know about modulars with stickers. Maybe, Parisian Restaurant, maybe they were trying to turn a different leaf Lego was, but then they were like, you know, not really worth it. I think the people who like modulars don't really like stickers. They're paying for, you know, that much, you know, even though if you buy Diagon Alley for $400, you're getting a whole fucking book of stickers. But, anyways, I mean, this place is great. Looking at the exterior itself, I mean, just I already mentioned, like, that. I mean, just the theater roofing just makes it look, just really gets me going, you know? It's just such a good, so fucking good, the roof. You know, how that color works off with that maroon, it just works off. It's so beautiful. But I mean, the interior itself is pretty great. It's not lackluster at all. I mean, the first floor, you have the snack bar, and you have, you know, it's just a really nice, like, first room to go into. I mean, that's a great, like, theater lobby, in my opinion. They really did that one well. The second floor is the theater area itself. I mean, this is where a lot of people hate Palace Cinema, because they're like, oh, not enough seats. I think this is awesome. Maybe the screen here is stickered, but it's so cool. I mean, to be honest, I love this screen area. I mean, it's kind of awesome, and like the camera showing in some. I know Alex News was like, I really wish they didn't have the camera showing, which I get, but like for those old cinemas, that's how it was. I'm pretty sure, at least. Trust me, I'm not a historian of movie theaters, but I really think that's really kind of accurate, and I think that's the way Lego could have done it, and I really like that they did do it like that. I really like that. I think this set has a lot of subtle nuances that really make it great. I think this is the second best modular of all time. It's so good. This is the first modular that came out like right when I got into my Lego phase, like late 2012, and then, like, you know, Town Hall was already out by then, but then this came out and I was like, oh my god, I need this so bad. I never got it, unfortunately, but this is the one I'm hoping to pick up the most out of any of them. You know, sooner than later, I'll probably have it, to be honest, because I really want it. And this is just such a fantastic modular, you know. That's why it belongs at number 2. And moving on to the best modular of all time at number 1 is...
Can't we be sweethearts? Why don't we fall in love?
I know this is going to be a very controversial pick, but coming in at number 1 is Police Station. Now, this has been getting a bit of mixed reception from the community. Of course, a lot of people get mad about the box art and about shit like that, but you know, some people call it, oh, it's a sandwich. Shout out to Joe Motion Studios. You know, this set's actually amazing. Listen, I bought this set day 1, which, you know, and I was really hyped for it, and the hype, I was not let down at all, by the way. So, let me get right into the set. Let me start with the exterior. I mean, just wow. Wow. I mean, a lot of people don't like it because it feels squished, but, I mean, I get that argument, but I kind of disagree. I know why it feels like that, because of the center police station itself. If the center police station was built like that, I mean, it just looks so even in the center. It wouldn't look even if it was to the left or to the right or whatever, but I like the way it's built like there. I mean, it just feels so right with those 3 floors. I mean, it's just such a good build, to be honest. I love it so much. But other than that, the donut shop exterior is amazing with that color that I know was used in not too many other sets indeed, but I mean, they use that color for the donut shop and the apartment of upstairs, of course, which actually has a really cool feature I'll talk about. But I mean, just what a cool exterior for a building, to be honest. The green building is where the exterior, everyone will say, oh yeah, this is shit because it's so like skinny. But like, I actually kind of like it because of the newsstand in front makes it look so much nicer than it would be. And I mean, if you attach it next to another modular, it looks really cool. It looks like a little narrow building that actually works in the background. It kind of has forced perspective, kind of like the detective's office, which I really like about the set. You know, they actually made it work well. The designer who did this should get a raise, to be honest. This guy did an amazing job on the exterior. I love the police station building itself, the exterior with those curtains and that police station symbol and whatnot. It's just so good. I'm telling you, this is just such a good set exterior-wise. I mean, even around the back, it looks amazing, which is something I can't say for a lot of modulars. I mean, there's a little crack in the bottom, you know, to show like story elements, which this set is the best modular because I think it has the best aspects of everything. It has the story aspects of Detective's Office. It has the exterior of Grand Emporium or Palace Cinema, you know. It has the interior of, you know, Palace Cinema or Assembly Square. I mean, it's just, the interior is amazing. Starting out the first floor, we have a really good reception desk for the police officer, which I mean, it just looks really nice. And you have a little basement access to the underground, which right next to that, there's a hole that the prisoner dug out from his jail cell, which is over to the left, which just looks so nice. I mean, the jail, it has such a cool feature where you lift up the jail cell itself, and then like you lift up the door, and then under that, and then you lift up the bed, and then you actually, there's an actual dig hole, like a dug hole in it. The pieces they use there make it work really well, and it looks super nice. I mean, I have never seen like so much story go into it. It's like it's literally like Shawshank Redemption. It's unbelievable what they did for the set. It is incredible. I'm sorry, and like the way they just built it was so amazing. I mean, then you go to the right to the donut shop. I mean, oh man, the facade they had in the back, it looks like a donut. It actually looks like a donut shop. They didn't fuck it up or whatever. I mean, it just looks so nice. This set's interior just looks so nice. And then you go on to the second floor, and I mean, this probably has the best interior out of any of them. You know, you have all the way to the left, you have the mugshot area, which I mean, like, that's just cool to have like a mugshot area in the police station. Of course, I have the 2011 police station right next to it, which is probably the second best police station Lego's ever released, right behind this one. And actually, it's like merged with my police station. It's police station East, police station West, you know, that kind of thing. So but that has a better mugshot area in my opinion. But this one just has a really cool, like, it's more old-fashioned, which makes sense for this set because the set feels a little more old-fashioned. And then the police station area itself is just more goodness around. It's so good in that police station area. All the mini builds you have in there, the desks in the front and whatnot. I mean, it looks so nice. And then all the way to the right in the donut shop area, you have an apartment, which is just, that's one of the nicest apartments we've ever gotten in a modular. It has a record player, which of course I actually collect records, and I have a cool record setup that I like to listen to a lot. And you know, it kind of appeals to me. And like, you have a bed that lifts up and looks into the donut shop, so the thief can steal the donuts, and he works out the newsstand. I mean, the story is just incredible in this set. Like, I don't want to go off on a tangent here, but the story is so good in this set. It's so awesome. And I mean, say we go to the 3rd floor, which is just the police station and the green building, the evidence locker. I mean, they actually included an evidence locker, which is awesome. I mean, an evidence locker is awesome to include in here. I mean, it looks really good with the tight space they have. I mean, it works out very well. I really like the evidence locker area. I mean, it lifts up on its own separate roof, which is something you don't get a lot of modulars. Usually they all lift up, like usually when one lifts up, it all lifts up, but like it has a separate roof to lift up, and it's very small. You couldn't really fit a minifig in there, but it works out really well. And then you have the police station area there, which is awesome. You have an interrogation room, which is super cool, just super cool. So, just such a great interior build. And you have a bathroom right next to it, which is really cool. Best bathroom in any Lego modular, I'll tell you that much. It's so fantastic, to be honest. I love this set so much. This set is fantastic. You know, it's actually really tall. I think it's just shy of the Lego Harry Potter Astronomy Tower, and it's definitely a little shorter than the Lego Avengers Tower, which are the 2 tallest things I actually own. But it's actually really tall. It's probably the tallest modular. No, probably Town Hall, I mean. But then it would be this. And I mean, it just looks so nice. I keep looking at it right now because it's so good. I'm so glad I went out first day and bought this for 200 bucks. That is my favorite modular of all time. And that will end the ranking, guys. I'm so glad if you sat through this hour of me talking about Lego modular sets. If you did, you know, you're a champ, honestly. I don't care what you do on this video. You're just a champ for watching my video for an hour, to be honest, and listening to me speak. It was a real pain making this video. Well, pain/fun. I recorded most of the audio in a day at school, so you know, sue me. But yeah, this was definitely a fun video to make. You know, you guys have a great day, and see you next time.